Good morning everyone. I am Abhinav Ladala of class 9E and today I am going to give the overview on the topic constitutional design. The rulers are not free to do what they like in a democracy. Both the citizens and the government are required to abide by a number of fundamental laws. The name for all such rules is constitution. As the country's supreme law, the constitution establishes citizen rights, government power and how the government should operate. Democratic constitution in South Africa. Struggle against apartheid. The Europeans entered in South Africa as traders and became the local rulers. The whites adopted policies of segregation. The non-whites were subject to many restrictions and inhuman practices. This was known as apartheid. The colored blacks and Indians fought against the practice of apartheid through protest marches and strikes. Towards the Constitution of South Africa. As protests and struggles against apartheid had increased, the government realized that they could no longer keep the blacks under their rule through repression. The whites regime changed its policy and discriminating laws were repealed. Ban on political parties and restrictions on media were lifted. After 28 years, Nelson Mandela walked out of jail as a free man. Party that ruled through oppression and brutal killings, and the party which led the freedom struggle sat down to draw up a constitution. After 2 years of discussion and debate, they came out with one of the finest constitutions of the world ever had.
Good morning, I am Chinmay Sahu. Today I am going to present why do we need a constitution. What is a constitution? A constitution is a set of rules by which a country is governed, rule for effective functioning of a government, an association, cooperative society and political party. Need for a constitution generates trust and coordinations, specific and limits power of government, express aspiration of the people, determines relationship between people and government.
Good morning everyone. I am Anshu Singh of class 9E going to speak about the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. It was drafted by Constitution Assembly in almost 3 years. In original constitution there were 395 articles and 8 schedules. So now we're going to discuss about the part 2 Indian Constitution. Initially there were a difference regarding the part which is to be adapted after the independence. The Constitution of India was drawn up under very difficult circumstances. First is the independence of the princely states. The second is the idea of Constituent Assembly was conceived by Mahatma Gandhi in 1992. A memorandum which is held by Motilal Nehru for the Constitution of India in the year of 1928. So now we will discuss about the part 2 Indian Constitution. The resolution of 1931 Karachi for Indian National Congress was a landmark. The Constituent Assembly was drafted as per the Cabinet Mission 1946. The basic ideas that was accepted by the Constituent Assembly was universal adult franchise, right to freedom and equality and protection of rights of the minorities.
This is Bhasit Mishra of class 9 showing you the presentation of guiding values of the Indian Constitution. The value of freedom struggle form basis of Indian democracy and are incorporated in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Constitution embodies the value of preamble into institutional arrangement. And the promise. Mahatma Gandhi was not the member of the Constituent Assembly, yet there were many members who followed his vision. This dream of an Indian has eliminated inequalities was shared by Dr. B. Ambedkar, who played a key role in the making of the Constitution. But he had a different understanding of how inequalities could be removed. He often bitterly criticized Mahatma Gandhi and his vision. In the concluding speech of the Constituent Assembly, he stated his anxiety very clearly. Philosophy of the Constitution. Values that inspired and guided the freedom struggle were in turn narrated by it and formed the foundation of Indian's democracy. These values are embedded in the preamble of the Indian Constitution that guided all the articles of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution begins with a short statement by its basic value. This is called the preamble of the Constitution. Taking inspiration from American models, most countries in the contemporary world have chosen to begin their constitution with a preamble. Constitutional design. A constitution is not merely the statement of value and philosophy. A constitution is mainly about embodying these values into constitutional arrangements. The provision to incorporate changes from time to time. These changes are called constitutional amendments. It defines who will have how much power to take which decision, and it put limits to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizen which cannot be violated.
Good morning. My name is Anvesh Aniket Manta of class 9E and I am the coordinator of this group. Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
We, the people of India. The Constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representatives and not handed down to them by a king or any outside power. Sober. People have supreme right to make decisions on internal as well as external matters. No external power can dictate the government of India. Socialist. Wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by society. Government should regulate to ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequality. Secular. Citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion, but there is no official religion. Democratic, a form of government where people enjoy equal political rights, elect their leaders, and hold them accountable. Republic, the head of the state is an elected person and not a hereditary position. Justice, citizens cannot be discriminated on the grounds of caste, religion, and gender. Social inequalities have to be reduced. Liberty. There are no unreasonable restrictions on the citizens in what they think, how they express their thoughts, their way. Equality. All are equal before law. The traditional social inequalities have to be ended. The government should ensure equal opportunities for all of us. Fraternity. All of us should behave as if we are members of the same family. No one should treat a fellow citizen as inferior.
Conclusion. The Indian Constitution is fully synthesis of all the provisions and articles constitute the supreme law of land. Any item of the Constitution must be implemented and interpreted while keeping in mind the intent of the Constitution Assembly. It is the characteristics of the Indian Constitution that itself make it a complete and comprehensive document of the country.